And it still is an important game, guys, because the best record in the NBA has not been locked up yet. So let's start with San Antonio, Mark. It's Kawhi Leonard's team now, and we've seen him be such a great defender since he first came into the league. But his development at the other end of the floor has been remarkable.
Well, you're so right, Mike. Came into this league as a defensive stopper. They did not need him to take over on the offensive end because they had some guys in their prime by the name of Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker. But when they began to put the basketball in his hands, take a look at the progression that he's made offensively. He is the primary scorer, and not just scorer for the Spurs. He's also the guy they put pressure on to carry the offense, making plays for other guys, having an outstanding season for the Spurs team.
Meanwhile, for the Golden State Warriors, well, Leonard's going to play this time. Kevin Durant will not, but he's close coming back from the knee injury. When he first went out, Jeff, they struggled quite a bit. But since then, they've won 8 straight. They've righted the ship. And Klay Thompson and Steph Curry are playing at that level once again.
Well, they're coming off a terrific win last night in Houston where they jumped off to a big lead. And it's been because the great shooting of Curry and Thompson is back on track after a mini slump. You look at those numbers, that's what they do. They shoot it better than any backcourt in NBA history.
Once again, though, playing in the second game of a back-to-back when they play the Spurs in San Antonio. Can they get the double dip on the Texas trip? Draymond Green and his versatility will go a long way in deciding that. Spurs and Warriors coming up. Tip-off shortly from San Antonio.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm, here to help life go right. And in part by Burger King. Try the new $3.29 cheeseburger meal deal today. And the hardest working collection from Old Spice. Don't smell yourself short.
The Western Conference Finals.
Tonight, in the heart of the West, it's a showdown. As the 2 best teams in the conference face off one final time this regular season. One loaded with offense.
Curry with the ball. Klay Thompson hitting a 3.
What a laser he has.
Oh, man. You want to talk about the Sparks brothers.
The other, a lockdown defense.
The claw is what they call Kawhi Leonard, and you just saw why.
And while each of their sights may be set on the ultimate showdown in June, tonight is more than just a crossing of paths. Tonight, we get a flash of the spectacle to come and find out who is one game closer to claiming the title, best in the West.
It's the Golden State Warriors and San Antonio Spurs as we welcome you to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm here in San Antonio, Texas. It's all part of the U.S. Marines playoff push as the Spurs and Warriors meet for the 3rd and final time in the regular season. There are 1,230 games in an NBA regular season, but only a handful are truly special, and this is one of them, as the fight for the top spot in the West continues.
Man, Mike is going right at the other teams. There are only a few that are special out of the 1,230.
Yeah, I disagree with you, Mike.
Only a handful are this special as we look at our starting lineups. Matt Barnes is still starting. And the starting lineup is brought to you by Indeed.com. Barnes will start a few more games until Kevin Durant returns, which is not too far off. And the usual starting 5 for Greg Popovich. Dwayne Dedmon now starting at center. Pau Gasol has been coming off the bench. Well, it doesn't get much more special than the 2 best teams going at it, fighting for the top spot, right?
Much better job celebrating the game, Mike, and not throwing the other 1,229 games under the bus.
Well, maybe because the last time these 2 teams met was such a disappointment, that huge letdown when nobody played in it, but almost everybody playing tonight, and it is for a lot of importance in terms of best record. I'll try and settle down now for a couple of minutes. So as Jeff mentioned at the top of the telecast, the Golden State Warriors played last night. A tough back-to-back. Played at Houston, an excellent road win against the Rockets. Meanwhile, San Antonio, they last played on Monday, an unbelievable, impressive victory against Cleveland. They won by 29, so both teams coming off very strong wins. Dedmon and Jaja Pachulia will jump at center. Danny Green knocks it away and comes up with a steal on the first possession. It's the #1 offensive team, Golden State, against the #1 defensive team, San Antonio. Parker gets it to Aldridge. Leonard and Draymond Green, terrific matchup there as Danny Green's first shot misses. Rebound tip knocked out of bounds, Golden State ball. Here at home, San Antonio 29-7. Spurs have won 5 in a row overall. Golden State, meanwhile, on an 8-game winning streak after last night's win. Green drives and can't get it to go. Leonard quickly the other way. Barnes guarding Leonard that time. Aldridge from the baseline. And Curry and Pachulia deflected it off each other. Spurs get a new 24.
That's not a shot that I'm sure Steve Kerr and the Warriors will live with. That's a wide open look for LaMarcus Aldridge. That's how he's made his living.
So Parker will inbound. Golden State, meanwhile, another great season on the road, 29-10. They came up with their 60th win of the season last night in that victory against the Rockets. Parker drives, trying to get it into Dedmon. Gets it in traffic, slap but foul. And Dedmon will shoot a couple of free throws. So Pachulia picks up his first. Jeff, at Golden State, as they said at the top, they went through that stretch without Kevin Durant. Durant's going to be returning fairly soon. At least that's the hope. How much of a time will that take to get him reacclimated once he returns? Is it important for him to get a few games under his belt before the end of the regular season?
I don't think so. I mean, I think they're going to be such prohibitive favorites in the first round that he can work his way back into rhythm then. I think it all comes back to, it's not just getting him back, it's is he healthy enough to move the way he wants to? But listen, if he's healthy, it'll take him about 2 trips up and down the court for them to fit him back in.
Klay Thompson misses the 3. Spurs, meanwhile, on Monday night in that game against Cleveland, they were up 24 at halftime. Just a steamroll as Leonard turns, shoots, and hits. Mark, you touched upon it at the top on his offensive evolution, and he's got a lot of different ways where he's scoring.
And the shocking thing to me is the way he's scoring the basketball. I remember for years, Coach Pop would talk about he'd be the future of this team, and they were going to put the ball in his hands, and you think, man, maybe you see something we don't see as Green knocks down a jump shot. But he is not disappointed because he put his trust, meaning Pop, in a guy that worked his tail off and wanted to be great.
Curry, left-handed pass to Thompson, but a foul call on Draymond Green, who was in James Williams, the official's face, right away, as Green picks up his first.
Offensive foul going to be called on Draymond Green, his first personal.
Green hurt his foot last night, had to leave the game momentarily, but returned, and is obviously okay. He's guarding Aldridge to start. Barnes on Leonard. Matt Barnes picked up mid-season after being released from Sacramento as Leonard's jumper won't go. Rebound tipped right back to Leonard. Leonard gets inside, finds Tony Parker. And Green runs down another. Green fires a 3.
San Antonio Spurs off to a heck of a start. Deciding tonight to go green. Danny Green, that is. 10-0 start for the Spurs.
Welcome back to San Antonio, where the visiting Warriors are already down by 10, but they continue to be encouraged by the progress being made by Kevin Durant as he continues to make his way back from that MCL sprain and bone bruise in his left knee. He got a workout in pregame with Warriors assistant coach Bruce Frazier. Durant has not been cleared for full practice yet, but right now the course of action is to just continue to ramp up the intensity of his workouts like he did earlier today. This morning he got to play one-on-one with Warriors assistant coach Willie Green. They played 6 games of one-on-one. Willie Green said take it easy on him, but he did admit that he lost every game, guys.
Thanks, Lisa. Great news for the Warriors as Curry's first shot comes up short. Fight for the rebound. Leonard comes away.
Great news for the Warriors, but not for Willie Green. Are you kidding me? A former NBA player beat 6 times? That can't happen, Willie. You're better than that.
He's a Hall of Fame player.
I understand that. He's not beating a former player 6 straight times coming off injury.
Leonard misses. Draymond Green fell down. Outlet pass thrown away. Open 3. And Barnes the rebound. Taken away by Danny Green. Stolen by Curry.
He would beat Willie Green 100 straight times.
And a travel call on Steph Curry. Willie Green's only about, he was a good defensive player when he played with the Sixers, but he's only about 6'3".
But he's not far removed from playing in this league. He should not lose 6 straight games to anybody.
100 straight games. I love Willie Green, and I would watch him get beat by Kevin Durant 100 straight times.
Dedmon looking. Green comes off the screen. Kicks it out Aldridge. Aldridge on a good stretch. Since he missed those couple of games after he had that heart irregularity, he's been terrific, averaging about 20 points a game, shooting about 50%. As Draymond Green's 3 rolls out. Golden State, the highest scoring team in the NBA, scoreless for the first 4 minutes. Danny Green again. Curry pulls back, and Curry gets Golden State on the board. 4 minutes and 14 seconds before they scored.
If you're the Spurs, you couldn't think of a better start, not just offensively, but getting stops on the defensive end, making the Warriors work.
Well, we mentioned San Antonio #1 in defensive efficiency. Golden State is right there. They're #2. They're the 2 premier defensive teams in the league. Backdoor pass. Little low. Curry couldn't handle it. Turnover. Number 5 already for Golden State. Pachulia will sit, and JaVale McGee will come in. Well, Spurs opening up, playing with great hunger to start the game. It's 7-1 on the boards already. Leonard. Tony Parker. Inside pass to Dedmon. Dedmon shot blocked by McGee. Green catches, fires, not that time. And Thompson the rebound. Impressive block by McGee. Runs down the floor the other end. Curry guarded by Parker. Finds Klay Thompson. Thompson unable to hit. But it's last touch by San Antonio.
And that's a missed shot, but if you're Coach Pop, you're not satisfied with that defensive effort because Klay Thompson, a knockdown shooter, wound up with a wide open look.
Thompson, who's been on a tear recently. McGee gets inside. Shot blocked by Dedmon. Couple of impressive defensive plays.
I like his energy and athleticism. He's going to have a big contract coming to him in this offseason.
Dedmon still 27 years old, 4th year in the league. Spurs his 4th NBA team, getting a chance to start. McGee gets inside and misses the dunk. Leonard spins and is fouled. Everything going the Spurs' way here in the first 5.5 minutes. And Andre Iguodala is going to come off the bench early for Golden State. So Leonard will go to the line. That's one of the keys for his scoring. He's been getting to the free throw line on a regular basis as we look at our NBA national TV schedule. TNT Thursday Cavs and Bulls from Chicago. Houston playing in Portland. A lot of implications on both those games. ABC Sunday, Celtics and Knicks in New York. Utah at San Antonio. And then NBA TV Sunday in Miami and Phoenix as Leonard hits the second. Everybody talking about the Cavaliers, guys. What's your thought on what they're going through right now? Mark?
Shocking. And they don't sound like they're too concerned, but this is not a way to close out a season. And all the great teams that have won since I've been following the game, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you expect to turn it on. That's a dangerous place to be because there's teams waiting and getting a rhythm to close out the season that's going to be a dangerous out if they have to face it.
Leonard knocks it down. Hey, Jeff, is their defense right now? It's very mediocre. Okay.
No, it's awful.
Were you
right
about
now.
to say mediocre?
Very mediocre.
No, they're going to have to improve greatly on defense to get to mediocre. When they commit, though, you know, a lot of teams can't turn it on and turn it off. I believe they can, but they better start turning because right now they're not working at it. And if you don't work at it, it's hard to play effective defense.
Aldridge the rebound and the foul. 21-3.
San Antonio is usually not a good offensive rebounding team, but I like what they're doing, trying to pound this offensive board right now.
Iguodala gets inside. He misses. Aldridge the rebound. They're 1 for 11 from the field with 5 turnovers. Leonard. Green's had the hot hand early. Already with 3 threes. 7 on the shot clock. Aldridge pulls back. Gets the bounce. It's a Spurs avalanche here in the first quarter. A 20-point lead 7 minutes into the game. What a dominance here in the first 7 minutes of the game as Golden State, again, the #1 offensive team in the NBA with 5 times as many turnovers as field goals and trailing 23-3. Spurs coming out with just unbelievable energy from the opening tip.
On both sides of the floor. We've talked about it all along. If you're going to beat the Warriors, you have to be disciplined on both sides of the floor. You can't turn the ball over, and you got to make sure to not give wide open look to their shooters. And the Spurs have had a stellar start to this ballgame.
Patty Mills is in the game.
And you forget, just one of the great attributes about San Antonio, as Dedmon called for a foul on Curry, how big they are. Other than their point guards, Danny Green is a big 2, Kawhi Leonard a huge 3, Aldridge a huge 4. So they're going different than a lot of teams who are playing smaller. They're playing bigger, and defensively it really makes them difficult to challenge.
Dedmon picking up his first foul. Curry hits the free throw. Curry last night in the victory against Houston, 32 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Led the team in all 3 categories at 12 points in the fourth quarter. He has been superb lately. A great victory against the Rockets defensively is what was just as impressive for them against Houston.
When they jumped on Houston like they've been jumped on here tonight, they're up 37-20.
So Mills, the first sub in. Manu Ginobili set to check in for San Antonio. They've got excellent bench play. Leonard misses. Draymond Green grabs the rebound. Green throws it up and throws it away. Kawhi Leonard, great anticipation. Patty Mills for 3. Wow.
I've said it before, I love Patty Mills. The pace that he plays with simply got to his spot defensively, and playmaking ability of Kawhi Leonard spectacular.
Golden State has 5 points, and we've played 8 minutes. Curry to McGee. Gathers and able to get this one to go. And Greg Popovich, obviously furious with his defense, calls timeout.
Wants to stop this run.
His mediocre defense, right?
26-7 here in the first. Welcome back to San Antonio. All these struggles early for Golden State.
It's quality defense by the Spurs, but these are shots that we've seen the Warriors be able to knock down, and also plays that we've seen where they've made plays time and time again, coming up empty on the offensive end. Little credit to the defense, but also not the well-oiled machine that we've become accustomed to watching the Warriors play.
Well, this building has been a house of horrors for Golden State. Regular season, since they moved into this building, they're 1-25. 1-25 in this building, and overall 1-34 in their last 35 games. Ginobili, back out Patty Mills. Leonard kicks it out to Aldridge. And Aldridge connects on a three. By the way, the one victory that Golden State has had was last April, and that was the only home loss of the season for San Antonio last year. Sean Livingston in the game. Patty Mills on Curry. Gasol also has come on for the Spurs. Shot clock at 3. Curry, corner 3. Won't go, but a foul as he gets knocked down. Instead, we'll head to the free throw lines. And here's the number. That April 10th game last year, yeah, that's the only loss for San Antonio. They were 40-1 in this building last season.
And I think Steph Curry does that better than any guard in the league. When he passes the ball off a dribble penetration, he immediately sprints to relocate behind the three-point line. Momentary relaxing by his defender gets him the separation he needs.
Well, Greg Popovich was telling us before the game, when he watches Golden State tape, the high basketball IQ. They know the angles, know when to cut, know when to move. It's such a fun team to watch. Not necessarily to play, although no problem so far tonight. As Curry will get 3 free throws. Curry #1 in the NBA in free throw percentage in the league at 91%.
I would like to see a free throw shooting contest with Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, and Jeff Van Gundy.
I wouldn't be embarrassed, I'll tell you that right now.
Well, you're looking at me. I'll put you in there giving you a compliment.
No, I understand sarcasm.
No, I was being serious. I've seen your work.
You're being sarcastic.
I don't think he was being sarcastic that time.
Thank you, Mike.
Because he has seen you. We've all seen you shoot free throws.
I'd probably absolutely choke against Steph Curry.
Leonard fouled from behind by McGee and lays it in. And a chance for a three-point play. Leonard already with 8 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. McGee his first foul.
The Warriors are an outstanding defensive team. They have not been as sharp as we've become accustomed to watching them defensively also. Getting off the body of Kawhi Leonard, the outstanding pass by Ginobili. Big time finish with the contact.
And that is a tough matchup for a center in McGee. Somehow gets cross-matched against Leonard.
David Lee's come on. David West has come on. Golden State. With Leonard, again, he's getting to the free throw line. He's become a good three-point shooter. Can beat you off the dribble. He's worked on his post game so many different ways now to score. And one of the reasons he's at 26 a game.
And Mike, he's making plays to create quality looks for other guys.
Leonard's on Curry this time, kicks it out. Nice setup for Andre Iguodala, who nails the 3. Iguodala's had some good scoring games last few. Had 12 points last night, 20 the game before. Gasol, a little crossover, blocked by McGee. JaVale McGee's athleticism is off the charts.
And athleticism allows him to get back into the picture in spite of being beaten off the dribble.
That's McGee's second block. Gasol from outside. David Lee battles, keeps it alive. And a new 24 again for San Antonio. Foul called on Livingston as he tried to fight over the screen. That's the 14th foul. First on Livingston.
You look at this Spurs bench. They come in after a great start. All of a sudden you look out there and you think maybe not so much talent. You have Leonard, Mills, Gasol, Lee. and Ginobili. That's an outstanding second unit on the floor for the Spurs.
Patty Mills fires away, misses. Under 2 minutes remaining here in a dominant first quarter. Nifty ball handling. No bucket, however, as Leonard grabs another board. Those huge hands of Kawhi Leonard. Goes down the lane. Scoop layup off the mark. Gasol on the tip in.
They are pounding that offensive glass right now.
Overall rebounding numbers, 15-5 in favor of the Spurs. And a whistle of foul is going to go against San Antonio. First foul in the last 2 minutes. David Lee picks it up. Offensive boards, Jeff, 7-0 in favor of San Antonio.
And again, it's not a strength of San Antonio, but obviously was an emphasis.
Livingston gets inside. David Lee contests it nicely. Like you were saying, Mark, Ginobili, Gasol, David Lee, all former All-Stars, now part of the bench. Gasol with the left hand, can't get it to fall. McGee grabs the board. And then you add Patty Mills, who's the leader of that bench. Eight on the shot clock. Iguodala connects.
And he's played outstanding in the absence of Kevin Durant. But if you're the Spurs or a team trying to beat the Warriors, those are shots that you have to be willing to live with, giving up something to this outstanding Warrior offense.
Pass too low. Turnover. Kyle Anderson will come in. And Ginobili will take a seat with 41.7 remaining here in the first. Curry has 8 of the 15 points in the opening quarter for Golden State. David West left open. Everybody helping out on the boards for San Antonio. Leonard guarded by West. Drives, pulls back, sets up for three. Way off, rebound McGee. Still 7 seconds remaining. Iguodala pushes behind the back. Falling away shot. Gets it to go as the buzzer sounds. He got it off in time. And Iguodala off the bench, 3 for 4 from the field with 7 points. But what a start for San Antonio. They led 15-0 by as many as 22. It's 16 points after 1.
It's time for tonight's coach's interview brought to you by ExxonMobil. Steve, down 16 after 1. What happened in that first quarter?
Well, we got killed on the glass. I mean, that was the big thing. I thought our defense was actually okay at the point of attack, and we forced some tough shots, but we couldn't get a rebound, and all those second chance points killed us.
What's the one thing that has to happen first for you to get back in this thing?
Well, we already started it. Our defense improved the last couple minutes. We got a couple boards, a couple hoops, so I don't know what their biggest lead was, but we've cut a little bit off of it anyway.
All right, thank you very much. Mike.
Thanks, Lisa. That biggest lead was 22. They had 5 field goals and 6 turnovers in the first quarter as Matt Barnes drills a 3. Looked like he took a shot in the mouth as well. So it's cut to 13 already. Kyle Anderson, Patty Mills, Gasol, Lee, and Ginobili. All the bench players out there right now for San Antonio. Ginobili the extra pass to Anderson. Can't get it to go. David Lee. Such good hands around the rim. Tips it in.
Killed on the offensive boards. On the other end, though, David Lee's contact on Matt Barnes' three-point shot got away with it.
Thompson jumper over Ginobili. You know, watching him just in warm-ups before the game, he has the sweetest looking jump shot. It's perfect.
Not just looking like the finish is awesome. It was unbelievable having the privilege to have watched guys like Curry and Thompson shoot day in, day out. They put the time in. They don't just show up and shoot. They put the time in.
That was Thompson's first field goal. He had another strong game last night as well. Big start in that victory against Houston. Mills catches and fires. Rushed that one. Good contesting of the shot from Golden State. (35-22). San Antonio only shooting 42% from the field, but as the guys have been saying, the rebounding already with 8 offensive boards. Iguodala lines it up. Ginobili fakes and drives. Reverse won't go. Barnes grabs the rebound.
And that's what's changed for both Ginobili and Parker is their ability to finish. They can still get in the lane, but the finishing ability is not quite the same.
Anderson back to Gasol. And Ginobili started that down the other end, coming up with a loose ball and then threw a bullet to start the fast break. Second oldest player in the NBA behind Vince Carter. Still has some nights of magic as Thompson pulls up. Shot won't go. Ginobili the rebound, but a loose ball foul is going to go against San Antonio. And it's David Lee with his second. Trying to make his point. Mass substitutions. Parker, Green, and Aldridge return for the Spurs. David West looking to take Green down low. Bangs in and throws it in. That's just, was going right at a guy. Not that many old school guys still left playing, but David West is one of them as Aldridge jumper misses. West wants it again. Danny Green's a very good defensive player, but huge weight disparity here. West up top to Barnes. Good extra pass. Ian Clark. That's a three.
And that's a poor choice defensively right there, rotating to Barnes and leaving Clark wide open.
And it's cut to 10 already. NBA Wednesday presented by State Farm. 3.5 gone by here in the second. Spurs lead has been cut to 10. Steve Kerr talking to his team to get him back in the game.
Long game, right? Well, we're in a rush, but we're playing slow, if that makes sense. We don't have any pace to our game, but once we get a shot, we're all flinching, we're all trying to just settle in and play our game. We're going to be fine, all right?
Well, they've been fine for the last 3 years. 60 wins again. They're 60-14. Third consecutive year they've won 60 or more. Only the 5th team in NBA history to do it. The Lakers from 84 to 88 did it 4 consecutive years. The Celtics back in the 80s did it twice, 3 consecutive years. Michael Jordan and the Bulls did it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the Bucks. And now the Golden State Warriors. 67 wins, 73 wins. And this year 60 and counting. Just incredible numbers. Anderson stepped out of bounds. Meanwhile, you look at San Antonio, and here's a number, sometimes you take it for granted. This is their 40th year in the NBA. They've made the playoffs 37 of the 40 years. That's truly remarkable.
That's unbelievable.
And the one of the years of those 3 that they didn't make it was when they drafted Tim Duncan.
Right, devastated by injury.
And got David Robinson back from injury, which started this historic run.
And there were not a lot of 8 seeds in those 37 playoff appearances. Not a lot of 42 and 40 records. Always over 50 as Clark misses. Rebound Green, tipped and taken by Anderson. Parker back in. Danny Green, another three, his fourth of the first half. 12 points for Green. Spurs back up 13.
After that made shot, Papa's not celebrating. He's up off of his seat, complaining, telling his guys, you must get back defensively.
Draymond Green, good dominance down low.
And that's good basketball. After the switch, Green screens and steps to the ball and takes advantage of the smaller Danny Green.
Defensive 3 seconds. So a one-shot technical. Pachulia will return now for Golden State. So a one-shot technical will be taken by Aldridge. Aldridge in his second year now in San Antonio. Comfort level a lot higher. We talked about his improved defense this year as well. And, you know, we had an interesting talk with Greg Popovich before the game about his team's defense. And in and year out, they just excel on the defensive end. They're always one of the premier, if not the best defensive team in the NBA. And it's been going on for pretty much 2 decades. And we asked him, what's the key? And you guys can explain this better than I, but he pretty much just said, it's fear as Leonard misses the three.
And I think what he means is obviously he's not going to tolerate, as he said, gross mistakes or lack of effort, lack of discipline, adherence to the game plan. But you also have to have, and this is where it all works together, you have to have players who are coachable and who want to do that. Because you can't put a gun to anybody's head and force them to do anything in the NBA. There's a lot of coaches to me in this league that demand defensively, but they don't have willing followers.
Well, you're 100% correct, but I thought you was also taking it a step further. You also have to have ownership and management that backs you as a coach, because that fear is not real if you can run to management or ownership and demand to be played.
Michelle Beadle with his Taco Bell studio update. Bucks Celtics, this one winding down. Bucks up 1. Malcolm Brogdon right before the shot clock expires. He had 16 on the night. The Bucks win. Mike Green.
Thanks, Michelle. Big road win for the Bucks. And they're 6th right now in the East. Nobody's going to want to play them. As we look at our playoffs, brought to you by U.S. Marines. Of the bottom 5, and we still don't know who's going to fill in the 8th spot, or even the 7th for that matter right now. Any of those teams have a chance for a first round?
I think Miami is going to be a tough out. They've played an extended stretch of outstanding basketball.
I agree with that. And I also look at Milwaukee, their versatility, their size, and having Middleton back is a big guy to have back, his ability to make shots and defend.
Antetokounmpo, in any other year, people would say, you know, he should be in the MVP consideration because of leading the team in scoring, rebounding, assists, blocks, everything. I mean, he's just been sensational.
It really is a crime when you think about the year that the 2 favorites in Westbrook and Harden has had, because it'd be a bunch of guys bunched up and it'd be a tough decision as far as who would win the MVP.
And when you think about Milwaukee, Jabari Parker, as they nail another 3 right there. But Jabari Parker goes out with another knee injury, and they actually play better basketball. So they've gathered themselves, as Mark said, because Middleton's come back. They've gotten a lot of good efforts from a lot of people.
Offensive foul call on Aldridge. That kid Brogdon, who hit the big shot we just saw against the Celtics, he's not overly flashy. He just does everything right.
Knows how to play. And he's coached by one of the best point guards this game has ever seen in Kidd.
I think Greg Popovich is doing some of the fear factor right now because he is hollering that his team has come up the floor. Curry into Livingston. Livingston has the height advantage on Parker. Count it, and a foul. John Livingston with a chance for a 3-point play. Golden State has cut it to 8.
Tony Parker too small for Sean Livingston. How many times in the last couple of years have we seen this? got to send help. That's outstanding defense, but that's contact. Going into the body of Livingston, the contest does not affect them because of that size and strength. Big time play on the block.
If they're going to try to switch out to prevent Curry's catch and shoot three, you're going to have some opportunities to post against mismatches, and that's why you have to have some semblance of a post game. You have to have enough guys that can hurt switches down on the block.
A 22-point lead has been sliced to 7. Aldridge, tough turnaround shot there. Danny Green's tip is good. They continue to excel on the offensive glass. Curry looking. Dedmon got a piece of it. Pachulia gets the rebound, just throws it up. Green's tip, no good. But a foul, and they're going to call it on the floor. That appears to be the signal from James Williams.
Calling him Tony Parker, the box out attempt of Draymond Green.
So Parker picks up his second. Clearly the foul. Thompson off the screen, rolls around and drops through. Well, Golden State doing exactly what Steve Kerr wanted, slowly but surely, getting themselves back in. And a travel called on Leonard. He thought he was bumped. But no, another call. One official call to travel, and others saying that a foul perhaps forced to travel, and Scott Forster, the crew chief's going to win out. Traveling.
To me, it should have been a jump ball. Klay Thompson's hand on the ball. So instead of traveling, you see the contact there. That's good defense either way.
Klay Thompson, he seems to pump his fist more after a defensive stop as opposed to hitting a big three-pointer. He loves to play defense.
Well, he takes pride on both sides of the floor, but it took more work for him to be great on the defensive side. So there's an appreciation, a natural appreciation.
Livingston throws it up top. Back inside to Green. Green guarded by Leonard. Shuffle pass to Pachulia. Back out to Iguodala. Good open look. That's a three. Andre Iguodala, 10 points off the bench. It's a 4-point game.
And this is not unexpected. NBA games are long. You jump out to a big lead. A quality team like Golden State invariably is going to find their way back into the game.
Curry fakes a three, finds Pachulia, lays it in. And the lead cut to 2.
This is a team with a lot of fight, and we knew that they would not quit. But not just quality, the ability to shoot the basketball like they do. You know they're always in ball games.
Spurs, after scoring 33 points in the first quarter, have just 12 so far here in the second, although we still have 4 minutes to go. Ball tipped out. Shot clock did not reset. Leonard gets inside, finding the Aldridge, knocked away, and a 24-second violation. Greg Popovich's team's great start has almost disappeared in terms of the big lead. Friday on ESPN, Western Conference playoff teams highlight tonight, 8 Eastern. The Spurs will face the Thunder. And then it's the Rockets and the Warriors. 2 terrific games. And again, all important in terms of playoff positioning. Coverage tips off with NBA Countdown at 7.
Westbrook at 55 tonight.
he ran amok again. You know, we talk about that MVP and such a close race. Same thing on Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, we've got 2 of the premier guys in Kawhi Leonard and Draymond Green. Leonard's won it the last 2 years. Green has finished second in the voting. Both deserving, both great defensive players.
Yeah, a guy also in the discussion is Gobert, Utah, and the impact that he's had defending, protecting the rim, rebounding the basketball. As Sean Livingston knocks down a tough shot. We got a tie ball game.
Now I was updated. Westbrook at 57, but Mike, you're an MVP voter, right? Can you split your vote?
Gasol hits a three. I don't think you can, but I think if enough people, enough voters said, hey, listen, we can't do this. I can't vote for one guy. Maybe you could have a co-MVP. Curry for 3.
We got to get Tim Frank on the phone for some clarification from the NBA office.
I would have much rather Mike say, I don't know.
Leonard drives. Gasol has turned into some three-point shooter this season. Also still has that part of his game as he's fouled behind by Livingston. And we'll take a timeout. 2:39 remaining in the second. It's a close game. Back in San Antonio where Greg Popovich, as we said there's the fear factor. He demands players to play defense, not afraid to coach even his stars hard. It's been that way since he's been here. And he says he doesn't worry about being the most popular person. You just make sure that the players do the right thing, and obviously the success has been off the charts. And as you guys said earlier, when you have certain players like Tim Duncan for the previous 19 years, when your best player, he can yell out and plays defense night in and night out, it makes the coach's job easier.
And that best player, putting plain and simple, can give you street cred as a coach. If you are yelling at David Robinson, if you're yelling at Tim Duncan and they allow it, everybody else has got to fall in place. But there was a time where if you yelled at them, they had more credibility than Coach Popovich. Fortunately, it has changed, and he certainly is an all-time great coach, not just in basketball, but in sports.
His 21st year as the head coach, the 5 championship rings. You know, one of his jobs as an assistant, he worked at Golden State for the Warriors for a couple of years under Don Nelson in the early 90s. And he said one of the things he learned from Don Nelson was the key to matchups. He called him the master of matchups. As Livingston throws it away. He also said that Don Nelson made him play golf. And he hated to play golf. But you've got to bite the bullet sometimes when you're the assistant. Any coaches you worked under make you do something you didn't want to do, Jeff?
That's a good question.
You know the answer.
Trying to think.
You know how hard you work for the great coaches that you...
No, but it wasn't. You know what? I'll give you one. Rick Pitino made me take little Richard Pitino, who's now the head coach of Minnesota, to the carnival one time. And that was the worst. Richard Pitino at that time, Rick gave me like $10. And he said, when it's out, it's out. And the kid burned through the money in like the first 10 minutes and looked at me like I was going to chip in. I had no money. So, Richard Pitino, you were a brat that night.
The carnival chaperone. Leonard drives on the pull-up. Jumper no good. Gasol the rebound, and then whacked by Curry. Second team foul, first on Curry.
I can't believe this guy just buried Richard Pitino.
Oh, I wonder. No, seriously. He was like probably, trying to think back, probably 6 or 7 at that time. Oh, my goodness.
It was just you and little Richie?
Yeah. Greenwich, Connecticut Carnival. Or Greenwich, East Greenwich, Rhode Island Carnival. Oh, my goodness. Cotton candy, candy apples.
Ginobili, high arcing three, gets the bounce and goes in. Manu Ginobili from downtown, the 8th three-pointer for San Antonio. Klay Thompson answers right back.
But that's how Golden State wants to play, where they're attacking early in the shot clock, making it a more up and down game.
Well, San Antonio, they're number 1 in the NBA in three-point percentage, but they don't take as many teams in the league. They're 8 of 15 here in the first half tonight, though. And Ginobili lost it out of bounds. We've got the third at halftime coming up. Talk about Russell Westbrook and his 50-point triple-double. And there's the proud father of our Michelle Beadle. As Curry gets inside, Michelle will be there with Tracy, Chauncey, and Jalen.
Bob Beadle looking good over there. B squared.
Foul call on Curry. Will they call it a continuation? No. So Curry picks up his second. They're in the penalty. Shot won't count, but Patty Mills will get 2 free throws. You're just tuning in. San Antonio led this game 15-0. Golden State didn't score for the first 4 minutes and 14 seconds. And we want to remind you, Sunday on ABC at 3:30, San Antonio and Utah right here at the AT&T Center. The playoff push continues. The San Antonio Spurs trying to get the best record. The Jazz trying to hold on to that full spot and home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. And our playoff push matchup is presented by the U.S. Marines. Patty Mills 5 points off the bench. Final minute, first half. It's been an eventful first half after that 22-point lead. As Ginobili fouls Curry. He wanted a jump ball. Instead, Ginobili picks up his first. Ginobili wants to see the replay of that one. What a difference a quarter makes.
Well, Steph Curry's going to the line. Steve Kerr gets up and makes him aware of the fact that he's got 2 fouls. Wants him to be careful on the other end and not to pick up his 3rd foul to close out this half.
Curry 6 for 6 from the line. 13 points, 5 assists here in the first half. Once again, #1 in the NBA in 3-point field goals made. He won't make 400 like he did last year. Three-point game as we wind down the first half. Leonard's got Iguodala on him. Good matchup there. Iguodala pokes it away. Green gets away from Ginobili. Here comes Draymond Green out to Thompson. Sets up for 3. Ball tip taken by Leonard. Final seconds. Ginobili gets it off in time. Won't go. And that will end the first half. What a roller coaster ride. San Antonio led by 22 in the first quarter. But Golden State came back strong here in the second. Steph Curry with 14 points to lead Golden State. Meanwhile, Danny Green, 14 points to lead San Antonio. Got the Toyota halftime coming up after these messages. 3-point game here at halftime.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Ford, Go Further, and T-Mobile. Switch to the network built for unlimited data. The Toyota halftime.
Welcome inside our NBA studio with Chauncey, Jalen, and Tracy. I'm Michelle, and yeah, we'll talk about this game in a second. Tonight's highlight brought to you by Toyota. For more, go to sportsnation.com and vote. This is Warriors Spurs early in the first. Kawhi Leonard.
Quiet storm. Everybody right now should call up their barber or their hairstylist and get braids just like him. He's bringing it back in style.
Well, what about Danny Green here? Do we want Danny Green here too?
Danny Green got cooking in this game early on. He got 14 at the half.
He did.
Iggy got cooking off that bench. And just see playing.
So what was at one point a 22-point game is now a 3-point game. Chauncey, explain that, please.
I think it's so funny how in most games, if a team jumps out like that with a big lead, most of the times, and we talked about this, Jalen, the team with the lead, they let their guard down. They start shooting bad shots. They get comfortable, and they're taking. I mean, look at Danny Green. He gets hot. Now you start taking, shots that, just elevated shots, heat check shots, and now that other team starts to get some confidence.
Teams get away from why they built that league. The offense is not running smoothly. Everybody is taking, ill-advised shots. Golden State found their niche. You got Livingston coming off the bench. Iguodala came in, gave him some big minutes. They had 20 points coming off the bench. That gave them a nice boost. And they just calmed down and executed their offense.
How do you explain the slow start? if you're going to try to.
You got to give the Spurs a lot of credit. They came out defensively. They were making shots. Everything jumps off of the stat sheet when you're making shots. Everybody feels good about themselves, in particular role players. Danny Green, they did their job. Danny Green might finish the game with 14 points. This is where Kawhi Leonard has to bring it home.
You know what happens.
Our player, the best guy they have.
When it's a big game and you know what's at stake, some teams come out a little bit more aggressive, and things just don't go their way. They don't make shots, and things are just not going their way. But once they settle down, as you see, they got back in this game.
And to that point, T-Mac, a lot of times with Golden State in particular, they score a lot of their baskets beyond the three-point line and in the mid-range jump shooting area. When you talk about getting off to a slow start like this, you need to be able to get to that free throw line, slow the basketball game down a little bit.
Transition.
Get points in the paint, layups, so make them take it out with your team getting back on defense. Early on, they weren't able to do that because they couldn't make a shot.
You guys all knew that this was going to happen, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You knew early on.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely knew it was
And also,
game.
these are the best basketball players in the world. If you're playing hard, it's a game of runs. You're going to get back in the game, and the officiating normally benefits the team that's the aggressor at the time.
And Beads, are you going to be all right?
Oh, for sure.
Are you sure?
Calm.
I love it.
Chill.
I love it.
Had
I'm
some
just
pasta.
Oh, Dad didn't look so calm.
No, Dad looked angry, actually. B squared. Steph Curry's got 14 points. And there you go. There's a couple.
He'll finish this game with about 30. I mean.
Oh, here we go. We're predicting, huh? We're doing it.
Jacks up,
Draymond Green has to be big in the second half.
This halftime is presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back to NBA Wednesday. It's presented by State Farm, and it's part of the U.S. Marines playoff push. Halftime at San Antonio, the Spurs lead the Golden State Warriors in the battle of the two teams with the best records in the league. A 3-point advantage for the Spurs. Let's check out who is doing it best. Brought to you by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. A tale of two quarters. San Antonio dominating the first. Overall, shooting just 43% from the field. The rebounds were critical for the Spurs at 28-13, as they led by as many as 22. And hello again, everyone, with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Mike Breen on hand. We'll check in with Lisa Salters in just a moment. Well, we expected a close game. We just didn't expect it perhaps to arrive the way it did with that huge lead. And Mark, that was as dominant as you'll see a team against such a quality team like Golden State. And that's our subject for tonight's King of the Court, brought to you by Burger King, the way the Spurs came out.
Well, not just the way the Spurs came out, but more importantly, the way that the Warriors got back into this ball game. Outstanding job, not quitting, not letting go of the rope, and paying attention to the details that Steve Kerr orders. Iguodala came off the bench, knocked down big shots after being down 15-0 and 23-3. Klay Thompson got involved, and then Steph Curry. You knew this was going to take place. Took the offense over, made plays to the paint area, and then knocking down shots. Beautiful job by the Warriors, battling back to get back into this ball game.
Iguodala was clutch off the bench to get that rolling. Meanwhile, the way the Spurs started rolling, Jeff was on the glass.
It's unlike San Antonio to pound the offensive board, but that's exactly what they did. Mike, in the first half, 11 second chance opportunities, and they got it from a variety of people. Danny Green had 4, and they led to points. Here he got his own three-pointer. Kawhi Leonard with that dribble penetration opens up the way for Pau Gasol's tip-in, and then David Lee gets another one, and then Danny Green one more time using that size to get on the glass. And a good job by Green leading them with 14 points because Kawhi Leonard uncharacteristically struggled.
You see Leonard's numbers 4 of 12. Had a good start. But again, that second quarter dominated by Golden State. Warriors trying to go back-to-back in Texas. Had a terrific win in Houston last night, trying to make it 2 in a row. And a rare win in San Antonio. Nice feed inside of Pachulia. Aldridge right there, smacks it away. Pachulia gets it back, knocked away again. Good hands from Aldridge. Shot clock winding down. And Pachulia just throws one up at the rim. Leonard looks. Pass ahead to Dedmon, saved by Draymond Green. And a pass thrown out of bounds as we check in with Lisa Salters. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, I just asked Steve Kerr what he said to his guys in the locker room about getting back in this thing. He said, I just told them a heck of a response. He said, see, we're pretty good too. He said, you know what, we just finally started to buckle down a little bit more defensively. He said, we still got out-rebounded, but we did get some of the boards, and that was key. He said, that's going to be the key going forward, the rebounding. Mike?
Thank you, Lisa. Dominant for San Antonio in that first half. Pachulia working hard and gets results. Second field goal for Zaza Pachulia. This year's starting center for Golden State. Doesn't play huge minutes.
Coach, I'm sure you'll agree. The Warriors throw the ball in the paint area to Draymond Green or Zaza Pachulia. You got to make those guys scorers. You can't help and allow perimeter guys to get open looks.
Turnover by Parker. Thompson in stride. Nails the three-pointer. And the Golden State Warriors with their first lead of the night in a game they trailed by 22.
And that's what you can't do. Turn it over, which ignites their transition. And usually that three-point game.
That's the first thing Greg Popovich said in terms of their keys in stopping this team. Leonard hesitation, draws the foul before any shot attempt. Pachulia picks up his second. Leonard steps back, three-pointer. Kawhi Leonard too strong. Klay Thompson the rebound. Green's pass deflected by Parker. Tony Parker, who's the oldest starting point guard in the NBA. Not playing as many minutes. He's going to be 35 years old in a couple of months. His 16th year in the league. Different role this year for him. Aldridge gets inside. Back up top to Leonard. Shot clock winding down. Just gets it off in time. And a 24-second violation.
Give the Warriors credit. They have buckled down on the defensive end. If you're Popovich, Coach Popovich and the Spurs, you can't be satisfied with the way your offense is running right now.
Well, even after that start, Mark, Steve Kerr, when they were down by that many in the first quarter, said, our defense is okay. We're just not finishing it with rebounds. Curry kicks it out. Thompson again. Quick catch and shoot. Rebound. Barnes. Curry for three. Got it. His second three-pointer. Timeout San Antonio as the Warriors go up by 5. 8 straight points to start the third for the Warriors. Five-point Golden State lead here in San Antonio. Of course, the MVP candidates. These are the main 4. We did contact Senior Vice President of Basketball Communications Tim Frank from the NBA offices at halftime, and he says there will be no vote splitting. You have to vote for one or the other.
I think we should all call his office tomorrow and demand to be able to split our vote. Because this is a unilateral decision by the Senior Vice President Tim Frank.
Well, his argument is, can there be 2 winners in a game? No. It's a hard decision. It's a hard game. You got to pick one. Somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. That's
not a good argument, because in the history of the game, there's been 2 winners, whether it be Rookie of the Year.
Well, Rookie of the Year was when the votes came out, they finished tied in the voting. So if they finished tied in the voting, you could have a co-MVP.
I'm sort of thinking it was close to tied in the voting, but no.
As Green gets the rebound. But it's easier for Rookie of the Year to be tied because there's only you vote for the first 3. MVP, you have to vote for 5. And it makes it a little more difficult to come up with a tie.
To me, it's co-MVP. I think it'll be a crime if one of those guys, meaning Harden or Westbrook, does not win it. That's with all due respect to LeBron and Kawhi Leonard's year, but incredible year.
He's had a couple of game winners recently. And look at this, just remarkable numbers.
What I don't like is after the Houston OKC game, the Houston Rockets Twitter page puts a picture of James Harden and says more wins, and basically minimizing triple doubles. Stay classy. Respect greatness and the job, whether you're OKC or James Harden. Respect the job that those 2 guys are putting on the floor.
Westbrook won the battle of MVP candidates because he had, 18 of his 39 in the fourth quarter. If you were at that game, are you kidding me? Let's use our eyes. Harden dominated that game.
By the way, this year is different in terms of when they'll announce it. The NBA is having an award show on June 26th. So they used to, during the course of the playoffs, first round they would announce one award, then second round another one. Now it's going to be one night where they announce all the winners.
Where's that at?
I believe it's going to be in New York.
You emceeing it, Mike?
No. Curry spins away, finds Pachulia. Pachulia misses, gets it back, and is fouled. They'll call it the act. That's going to go against Danny Green. That's 2 on Danny Green. So Pachulia to the line. Zaza Pachulia, good solid pickup for the Warriors. This is his 5th NBA team. Signed a 1-year free agent deal with him. Always a good backup when he's played with Orlando, Milwaukee, Atlanta. Last year he's with Dallas. And this year's the starting center for the Golden State Warriors. Hits the first our NBA national TV schedule. TNT tomorrow night. Good games in Chicago and Portland with certainly playoff implications. ABC Sunday, Celtics and Knicks in New York. Jazz and Spurs in San Antonio right here. Then NBA TV Sunday. Miami Heat will host Denver, and Houston playing in Phoenix against the Suns.
Think about how tight the MVP race would be if you took James Harden and Russell Westbrook out of the picture and eliminated those two. That would be fascinating. Because now you're bringing Isaiah Thomas, John Wall, you being all those guys in the discussion.
Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James.
That's a tough decision.
And Antetokounmpo as well. Green shot in and out, ball deflected. And right to Draymond Green.
And heck, you'd have to have Curry in there. You know, his season has gotten overlooked because it wasn't as great as last year.
Curry for 3, right on cue, his 3rd three-pointer. And the way Durant was playing before he got hurt, he was there as well.
And Durant's year has been incredible.
Forget, Durant leads this team in scoring, rebounding, and blocks. Yet they still maintain, even though he lost a loose ball foul, is going to go against the Warriors, they still maintain having the best record in the NBA, and their leading scorer and rebounder missed 14 games.
I'm more fascinated by Michelle Beadle's dad, who had a cigar in his mouth, but you can't be smoking it and yelling at the referee simultaneously.
Barnes grabs Leonard. There's Michelle's dad, the proud father. He has passed along his Spurs fandom to his daughter.
Absolutely he has. She loves her some Spurs.
Aldridge trying to post up Barnes. Barnes doing a good job fighting. Parker gets inside, can't finish.
That used to be money right there for Tony Parker.
Often that's money for Curry. That time off the mark. Curry now 3 of 5 from three-point range. 20 points for Curry. Boy, nice defense from Klay Thompson. Parker drives, gets inside, stripped, knocked down, knocked out of bounds. It's still San Antonio ball with 4.6 to shoot. Parker's going to come out. Patty Mills returns.
The Spurs got to find a way to get some points on the board. It's tough to beat this Warrior team when you can't score the basketball. Give the Warriors credit defensively. They have elevated their defensive presence.
Green, mad at himself, couldn't get it to go, but he did draw the foul. Danny Green will go to the free throw line. He had that hot start to this game. 4 of 6 from three-point range. He leads the Spurs in scoring tonight with 14. Another one of those stories, you know, turned into such a valuable member of championship teams. Danny Green, second-round pick way back in 2009 with Cleveland. He was cut by the Cavs. He was cut a couple of times here by the Spurs, but still got a ring. When you look at their success, despite the fact since Tim Duncan was drafted #1 overall, the best pick they've had in the past 20 years is the 20th selection. As Barnes misses. That was James Anderson, was picked 20th back in 2010. They're always picking like 29th, 28th.
Well, technically you're right, but Kawhi Leonard was 15th. So they traded on draft night, and the Pacers drafted for the Spurs. And you couldn't have had a more of a home run pick than Kawhi Leonard.
So if you look at it though, over the past, all that stretch, only 2 players, just look at the roster now. Only 2 players on the current roster are lottery selections. Leonard was 15th, so just outside the lottery. The only 2, Pau Gasol
and LaMarcus Aldridge.
And Aldridge, who was 2nd. Gasol was 3rd. We'll take a timeout. Right now, Golden State 5-point lead midway through the 3rd quarter.
At the offensive end, the ball has to move. You can't dribble it down to the baseline and then pick it up and then throw it. That's nothing. Take 1 or 2 dribbles, you shoot it or it's gone. We got to get the first domino to fall, and then it's boom, boom, boom. The extra pass. We're not running plays to get a shot. We're running plays to get the domino to fall. Right. So move the ball, drive and kick, we'll get great shots, all right?
Steve Kerr, of course, played for Greg Popovich, part of 2 championship teams in 2 different stints as Leonard hits the free throw. And Greg Popovich said when Kerr was a player here, he knew he'd be a coach. Said he was so smart, always talked the game. Loved him as a player. Said he'd go 5-6 games without playing. You call him in that next game and he was ready. Curry ready and connects his 4th three-pointer. 23 for Curry.
You think about the way the Spurs started off defensively, locked in, not making mistakes. It has been a disaster to start this second half. Wide open shots by Curry, time and time again.
Now Gasol fouled by Pachulia. They're now 11 and 20 from 3. Of course, played with the Spurs at those 2 different times and won 2 championships. One of them with David Robinson, and one of them with Tony Parker and Tim Duncan.
What trio are we saying Steve Kerr is part of? I mean, because you can make the same graphics with Phil Jackson and those Bulls. This is a serious question. I mean, he's had some great coaches.
Yeah,
I think he'll give credit to many of them. Because he's talked about Jackson, he's talked about Greg Popovich.
Even Lute Olson in college.
Yep.
But I'm just curious how we identify people with a tree. What would his be?
Cotton Fitzsimmons, Lenny Wilkins, all of these guys are ones he talks about. Tex Winter is one he frequently brings up. That's a good question. Curry gets past Gasol, gets inside, scoop layup's good. He's got 25 points in 25 minutes.
Doing a very good job not falling in love with that three-point line, mixing up his offense.
And again, the switch, they're taking advantage of. That time, he just drove the ball right past Gasol, no help coming, easy layup.
Curry on Green. Green looking to post up. Instead, double team, throws it out to Aldridge. Shot clock winding down. Aldridge way off. Rebound, Leonard. McGee was so worried boxing out Gasol. Leonard was able to sneak in. Back to 5. Again, this game very important in terms of the overall standings. Foul call. Patty Mills is second. Not in the penalty yet. Right now, San Antonio 2.5 games back of Golden State. 2 in the loss column. San Antonio's already won the first 2 meetings, so they would have a tiebreaker should that occur. They won on opening night, had that blowout win by 29 in Oakland. And then, of course, in the game in March when the Warriors sat their star players. Nice feed inside. McGee misses another dunk. Second one of the game. Leonard finds some room. Drills it. 16 for Leonard. It's cut to 3.
Steve Kerr upset. He wants a foul called on McGee's attempted dunk.
Curry to Green. Alley-oop. Ball knocked away by Danny Green. And they'll go the other way. San Antonio ball. Here's the play we're talking about, Mark.
It's LaMarcus Aldridge with the attempt to block it. That's some contact on the arm.
Yep.
Steve Kerr is right.
They credited Aldridge with a block. He's got 4 blocks tonight.
So when you don't touch the ball and you just hit the body, it's a block?
Here in San Antonio tonight it was. Leonard gets inside and throws it away. Iguodala right there. Pushes it up to Thompson. Thompson drives into Green. Can't finish. Tipped by McGee. Won't go. Well, Green, that is. And Aldridge comes out of the back. Leonard. Gasol. Three-pointer. Pau Gasol is shooting 53% from three-point range this season. Curry way downtown, way off. Green ahead, Aldridge running the floor, foul, and one. A chance to tie it at the free throw line on a bullet pass. Second foul on McGee as we'll get a timeout. Aldridge 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 block shots. Spurs back within 1. After our game ends here, don't miss Sports Center at night with Scott Van Pelt. He'll have everything in the NBA, the NHL, college hoops, NFL, and everything you want to know about. Scott Van Pelt on Sports Center coming up after the game. Again, one of the marquee matchups of the entire NBA regular season. Right now it's a 1-point game, 3:10 remaining here in the third. Golden State showing terrific resiliency. They're getting blown out in the first quarter, down by 22 early in the second. And they went up by as many as 8, and now the Spurs showing their resiliency. A chance to tie it here at the line.
And to me, this is an important stretch for Kawhi Leonard. Draymond Green exits out of the ball game. Not the same defensive team on the floor for the Warriors. Try to get himself going.
David West has come on. Curry finds West wide open. And West's been doing that for a lot of years. Good look from Curry.
Heck of a pass.
With the left hand.
5 assists for Curry. Patty Mills passed through a little behind. McGee has it. McGee to Curry. Back up McGee. This time he finishes. And another nice assist for Steph Curry. And it's right back to a 4-point lead for the Warriors. The sole foul by McGee on the pass.
Smart play by McGee. Good job. Active hands in the passing lane. Pushes it just enough and then gets rid of the basketball, and Curry with the right decision. That's beautiful basketball in transition.
Teams have a combined mark from the free throw line tonight. 27 of 28. Warriors 11 for 11. And the Spurs 16 of 18. Well, with the NBA app, you can check live scores, watch game recaps, choose your favorite players and teams, and watch live games with NBA League Pass. Don't miss a moment with the NBA app, the official app of the NBA. 12 points, 6 boards for Pau Gasol. Curry. Tough shot. McGee, offensive rebound, and he's fouled as he tried to throw it back out. Ginobili on the reach-in. Just the third team foul. 2 on Ginobili. Crowd's gotten a little quiet. They were going absolutely nuts in that first quarter. with that great start by the Spurs. Curry with Aldridge on him. Finds David West. West back up top, Iguodala. Iguodala pull-up jumper. It's good.
He's played an outstanding game. Came off the bench when they were struggling to start the game. The defense, the playmaking, and the shot making have been all on point.
He averages 7 a game, but he's been in double figures the last 3. Ginobili to Gasol. Gasol fakes, runs into McGee. He picks up yet another foul. More free throws for Pau Gasol.
Get back to Iguodala. A great game, but he's been outstanding. They needed somebody to elevate their game in the absence of Kevin Durant, and he has absolutely responded.
See coming up huge. Had a 20-point game 2 games ago, 12 points last night, 12 more tonight. I like the way, and often he doesn't have the numbers that really indicate the impact he has on games. His role with this team. Steve Kerr says he's a great basketball player who doesn't have great numbers. You know, he put up bigger numbers early in his career when he was an all-star. And even though he doesn't have great numbers, he's one of the most important 6 men in the league. He deserves consideration for the 6-man award. I know guys score a lot more, maybe have better numbers, but in terms of impact on one of the best teams in the league, he's right there.
You're right, but he shouldn't win 6-man of the year award just based on the year that guys are having off the bench. But I will say this, incredible IQ for the game of basketball, incredible defender, and a guy that doesn't shy away from putting pressure on himself. They don't have the success they have if they don't have Andre Iguodala. Tide turned when they brought him along.
Right on cue again. He's 6 of 8 from the field, 14 points, and the lead is 5. 33-year-old Iguodala. Huge impact tonight again. Kyle Anderson up top to lead. Ginobili dribbles it off his foot. 7 to shoot. Ginobili finds Gasol for the flush. What a beautiful pass from Manu Ginobili.
Warriors got to do a better job on the weak side coming into the paint, not allowing the direct line drive.
Curry, Draymond Green, off balance, banks it home.
How good a passer is Steph Curry? We fall in love with the shooting ability and all that, but he is an outstanding passer.
Ginobili misses the 3. Gasol tips the rebound to himself, and they'll reset. Curry tonight marked 8 more assists.
But not every assist is created equal. Some are fake assists that the NBA gives, and some are actually the reason a guy gets an open shot. And Curry's tonight have been special.
Nice save inside. Iguodala hit to Curry. David Lee wanted a foul call the other end as he turned it over. Mills inside. Lee! Shot blocked by Green. Are they going to call interference? I don't know. I don't think it was one of the Warriors.
No, they're calling it on David Lee.
On David Lee. Okay, so Lee with the defensive, after trying the dunk, he's the one that committed the interference, so no basket. See him hanging on the rim. Steve Kerr thought they were going to call it against Golden State and count the bucket. I did as well.
I like these substitutions right now, closing out this quarter by Steve Kerr, bringing in Klay Thompson and Ian Clark, shot makers on the perimeter. 3.8 seconds to go in this quarter. Plenty of time to get a good look.
San Antonio does have a foul to give here. Curry sets, fires, it's up! And the third quarter comes to an end. Golden State down by 22 points in the second quarter, clawed their way back. And now we'll head to the fourth quarter with a 7-point lead. 27 points, 8 assists to Curry, including 4 3-pointers. Welcome back to San Antonio, set to start the fourth. Look, Golden State 17 points in a disastrous first quarter, 67 points in the next 2 quarters, and they've got this 7-point advantage. And again, a victory for Golden State tonight would put them 3.5 games up on San Antonio. San Antonio's Ginobili, as Barnes gets it. Golden State after tonight has 7 games left. San Antonio after tonight 8 games left. Barnes alley-oop, knocked away by Ginobili. Lee, Ginobili, Gasol, Anderson, and Mills. Gasol gets it down low and gets it to fall. Well, the bench starting the fourth quarter here for the Spurs, down by 5. Ian Clark in the game. Clark, in that last time they played here, he had his career-high 36 at all those minutes with all the stars resting. And Matt Barnes nearly throws it away. Thompson catches it. 3 to shoot. Thompson to West. West to Thompson. Layup is good.
Good patience by David West. That's bad defense by the Spurs.
Thompson now with 16. Patty Mills hops inside, has it poked away. And they say it's still San Antonio ball. The Warriors bench disagreeing. Warriors on the court as well. Parker back in for Mills. Eight to shoot. Ginobili steps back. In and out. Clark. Hesitation. Scoop layup is good. Pretty play from Clark.
That's a beautiful pick and roll basketball. Hesitation. Going off the wrong foot. Take away Gasol's timing on the shot block.
Gasol double team. Gets it to Kyle Anderson. Shot clock down to 7. Anderson tries again. Gets inside and banks it home. Anderson with his first field goal. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth. It's been close throughout the second half. Clark inside, another nice feed from David West. That's West's 4th assist in just 13 minutes.
And it's great passing, but it's also great movement without the basketball. Time and time again, we saw Klay Thompson, and that time Ian Clark.
Clark, a couple of big fourth quarter buckets as Ginobili finds Gasol. Alley up to David Lee.
Klay Thompson down.
Looked like he got hit in the face. Tried to contest the pass to David Lee.
He just kind of signaled to his teammates, I'm okay. Just wanted to kind of gather himself. Here's the play down low. This just took a shot from David Lee, as you mentioned, Mark. We'll take a timeout.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm, here to help life go right. And in part by Verizon, not just unlimited, Verizon Unlimited.
Welcome back to NBA Wednesday. It's presented by State Farm from here in San Antonio. Spurs now 7. Go to ESPN.com/magic to enter for your chance to win a vacation from ESPN to the Walt Disney World Resort. West trying to jam it in there. Gasol with the deflection. Anderson, Gasol not expecting it. Now Anderson's jump shot is good. Anderson a couple of buckets here in the fourth. It's back to 5. Thompson on the pull-up. That's good.
Great shooter. And the size of Tony Parker doesn't affect him at all.
18 now for Klay Thompson. Barnes up on Anderson. Ginobili straight on. It's a 3. 9th three-pointer of the game for San Antonio, and they cut it to 4.
And it goes back to the Wired that we listened to. Greg Popovich says 1 or 2 dribbles or get rid of it, make quick decisions. That time, Everybody on the Spurs played a part in creating that open three for Ginobili.
Shot clock at 5. Thompson launches another one. Oh, Klay Thompson from downtown. His 4th three-pointer.
Well, you can't play better defense than Ginobili just played against Klay Thompson.
That's beautiful.
David Lee up and under. Uses the glass so well.
But that's important. If you're going to beat the Warriors, when they go small, if you decide to stay big, you got to take advantage of that size while you're letting them off the hook.
West. David West, big plays off the bench. 6 points, 5 assists. Golden State has not missed yet here in the 4th quarter. They're 6 for 6 from the field. Pass inside to Anderson. Shot clock at 5. Lee, this time with the right hand. And Iguodala, well defending, gets the rebound. West inside to Thompson again. Thompson turns and hits. Klay Thompson lighting it up here with the 4th timeout, San Antonio. Thompson with 9 of his 23 here in the 4th quarter.
They picked up Kevin Durant and people were concerned. Will it affect Klay Thompson? No, it will not. This guy finds a way to get open on the offensive end, and he is a shot maker. One of the all-time best shooters ever. Back in San Antonio, Warriors up 9. The 4th quarter has been the Klay Thompson show. Great movement without the basketball. Does not matter who you put on him. Gets to his spot, elevate. Time and time again, they look for him, making plays. And beautiful passing by David West. Uses that size and strength to eliminate the contest of Ginobili. Pop scratching his head. The dynamic duo of the Splash Brothers.
And especially last couple of games, shooting so well on the road. The Warriors, believe it or not, they have the biggest disparity in their three-point percentage home and road in the NBA. And Thompson and Curry have both been up and down shooting from 3 on the road. Not tonight. Leonard back in the game. Pull-up jumper, short. David West the rebound. Green tied up. Pass deflected by Danny Green, picked up by Parker. Parker gets to the paint. Pass deflected. Aldridge being guarded by Barnes. Spins and a foul before the shot attempt. As Barnes will pick up his 3rd first-team foul. Curry quickly comes back in. Thompson's going to get a breather. Danny Green to inbound. Just past the midway point here in the 4th. Leonard draws the foul. Shot won't go. Barnes doesn't like the call, but a smart play by Leonard. As Barnes picks up his 4th. Leonard tonight, 16 points, 7 boards, 4 assists. Sat for the first about 6.5 minutes, or 5.5 minutes of the 4th. Well, Friday on ESPN, or Western Conference playoff. Teams getting ready for the playoffs, that is. Spurs and Thunder. And then the Rockets and the Warriors. 2 important games. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 7. And Leonard goes 1 for 2.
They put Kawhi Leonard on Curry right now.
Curry looking for West. Nice slip pass. David West can't get it to go. Draymond Green keeps it alive, and West finishes it off. What a game for West. 8 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds.
We raved about the play of Iguodala in the absence of Kevin Durant. David West has not gotten enough credit also. Playing that power forward position, looking like he still has some life in his body.
David Lee to move. Well, they all, Iguodala, West, Livingston had good minutes as well. West again. Hits again. David West.
David Lee's got to close that space. Make West be a driver.
West, who played last year here in San Antonio, 1 year with the Spurs. Parker inside the lead, blocked by West, and picked up by Barnes. David West doing it all in the last couple of minutes. Curry fakes, drives, floater off the glass, misses, and lead the rebound. 10-point game, just over 4.5 remaining. Kawhi Leonard trying to draw a foul, won't go, rebound Lee. And Curry on the reach-in call for the foul. That'll be the third team foul against Golden State. Curry's fourth. Patty Mills in for Parker. The Spurs have one more run in them. We've got 4.5 to go. Parker sits down scoreless in 24 minutes. 0 for 4 from the field. Klay Thompson reports back in. Boy, the Warriors defense has been so good in the second half.
Such length and guarding the ball exceptionally well.
Aldridge tries a three. In and out. Curry the rebound. Wild pass. And they threw it out of bounds. Not deflected. San Antonio will get it back. Just under 4 remaining in a 10-point game. Steve Kerr's team trailed 15-0 in this game. Fell behind by 22 early in the second. Now with a 10-point lead late in the fourth. Patty Mills fires and is fouled on a 3-point attempt. Curry doesn't like the call. That's going to be 5 fouls on Steph Curry. He wants to see the replay. Patty Mills wants to see it as well.
That's a foul.
Certainly looks like it.
This is how they call it now. You have to, I mean, when you lunge at the shooter.
And some missed free throws here in the fourth quarter. San Antonio in the first 3 quarters were 19 for 21. And now 1 for 4 here in the fourth.
Warriors able to close out this game. This is a huge win. If you think about after this game, they play Houston and then Washington next. Who knows? Closing the gap for the Spurs. Those are 2 tough teams. Give the Warriors credit. This is off of a back-to-back. It's a big-time energy and effort win for the Warriors.
The Texas trip, Houston and San Antonio. You're absolutely right, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have a better back-to-back road wins if they can finish this off than what they have right now.
Shot clock at 6. Iguodala and West play catch. Iguodala back to West. West going to have to put up a 3. Draymond Green trying to track it down as he crashes into Kawhi Leonard. And it's going to be San Antonio ball. Still 3:21 remaining, but San Antonio struggling right now to score. They're down by 9. Leonard's been quiet here since he came back in. Iguodala's done a nice job. Good feed inside, blocked by Thompson. Another excellent defensive play. Still going to be San Antonio ball with 7 to shoot. Boy, have they ratcheted up the defense.
And they don't give up on plays. You're beaten, but that doesn't give you the license to give up on plays. Give Thompson credit. Gets back into the picture and blocks the layup attempt.
7 left on the 24. Ball knocked out of bounds off of Leonard's foot. Another turnover, Golden State ball.
Iguodala has been great. defensively. Guarding someone as talented as Leonard, keeping him in front of him. Disruptive with his hand activity.
David West lays it up and in. What a fourth quarter for West. Timeout, San Antonio.
You know, if they just came down every time and ran Curry in a pick and roll, they would get a great shot each and every time. He's just too talented. Right here, another great pass, 4-on-3, and an easy bucket.
David West turning back the hands of time in San Antonio. Played in last year, a fresh live body. Time and time again, taking advantage of the Spurs defense. Out of pick and roll, knocks down to Jay. This time turns it down, gets to the paint area. Making plays, also distributing the basketball. Beautiful fourth quarter by David West.
In the fourth quarter, he's got 8 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. This is a guy that averaged 20 a game a couple of times in his career. Two-time All-Stars. Leonard throws it down. Now playing a different role. Oh boy, he's been just superb here tonight.
Yeah, interesting. He's a guy that turned down a lot of money to hope for a championship here in San Antonio. That did not happen.
Iguodala missed it. He signed a 1-year deal with the Spurs. This year signed a 1-year deal with Golden State. As we have 2:18 remaining.
Give him credit, but I tell you what, Mike, I'm not turning down millions of dollars to win a championship.
It was about $12 million. He had an option for $12 million with Indiana. Instead signed the veterans minimum.
I'm with the great Charles Barkley. Give me my $12 million. Can I get an amen?
I don't even know if that's even a question, especially if you don't have it. I'm going to double amen on that.
Curry back up top, Green. Curry scoots inside, running layup, left hand off the glass. 29 points and 10 assists for Steph Curry. Many of the fans have headed for the exits here in San Antonio. Danny Green drives on Thompson and throws it to no one. They have shut them down here down the stretch of this game.
Their defense has been awfully impressive after the initial start to this ball game.
We had 33 points in the first half. We're up by 22 early in the second. And it's been all Golden State since then. Curry kicks it out. Klay Thompson another 3. Gasol the rebound with 1.5 minutes remaining.
Look at the Warriors trying a different look. Trapping Kawhi Leonard with David West trying to get the ball out of his hands. Maybe a little something you look at how it works if we see them down the road.
And Curry will just walk it across the timeline. Just gets it across before the 8-second count. Realized it. Back-to-back magnificent games for Curry. This one just an exceptional performance for Golden State after winning last night in Houston, falling behind by 22 tonight. As David West caps off a magnificent fourth quarter with a 3-pointer. And it's only his 3rd 3-pointer of the season. And it puts Golden State up by 14.
Steph Curry is absolutely crushing the switches of bigs onto him. Just blows by LaMarcus Aldridge, drops, brings help to him, and kicks it to David West for the wide open corner 3.
Just under a minute remaining. Golden State with a 14-point cushion right now. As we wind down this one here in San Antonio. Once again, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. First few games without Kevin Durant, they both struggled a little bit. And then since then, during this 8-game winning streak, and now this will be 9 in a row, they have been magnificent.
2 of the best shooters that this league has ever seen. In the discussion with anybody that's ever shot the basketball in the same backcourt. It's unbelievable. They continue to not disappoint.
And as we mentioned, Curry also with 11 assists. So San Antonio's hopes of catching Golden State for the best record, this is going to do a damaging blow. Although of the 5 title teams that San Antonio had, one year in 05 they had the 2nd best record. In 07 they had the 3rd best record. in the West. The other 3 years they did have the best record in the West.
Golden State's clearly the most talented team in the NBA.
Especially when they get Durant back.
Is that why they pay you the big bucks?
No, but we keep trying to sell a story that it's all up in the air. And if JaVale McGee blocks the shot, it's not up in the air if the Warriors are healthy.
Dedmon hits the jumper. 110-98.
You know, Ian Clark went to Belmont. I just saw that school. It's a beautiful school.
We just got a little anecdotes down the stretch
it's
here.
A beautiful school.
You went to visit?
I'm trying to get my game together again.
Barnes steps back. Barnes off the mark. Dedmon will have it. And Golden State with such an impressive win. 9 straight victories now for the Golden State Warriors. And 5 in a row on the road. And tonight's victory is their 30th road win of the season. And only the second team to have back-to-back 30 wins on the road in consecutive years. And you see the overall in those road wins for 3 straight years. Another milestone for Golden State, as they're now 61-14 on the season and 30-10 on the road. Fantastic performance tonight as they win back-to-back games. Last night in Houston, tonight in San Antonio. Steph Curry led the way. He's with Lisa.
Thank you, Mike. Steph, you guys were just getting your butts kicked in the first quarter. What changed after that?
I mean, we played pretty good defense in the first quarter. They just made everything. Playing off adrenaline in that first quarter. Just continue our defensive pressure. Hopefully, we force them into misses eventually.
Now, when you looked up, though, and the game was 15-0, like, what were you thinking at that point?
Long game. A lot can happen, obviously. You hate to start off that way, but you can't panic. You got to understand the things that we were doing well and focus on that, and hopefully it'll turn around.
Describe the impact that David West had in the fourth quarter, particularly.
No, he was huge. I mean, more than that, he just was composed, confident when he had the ball in his hands, making plays, knocking down jump shots on the defensive end, everywhere, being our anchor.
What does a comeback win like this have, especially on the second night of a back-to-back against the best defensive team in the league? What does that say about your team?
Well, we're on the right track. We don't win a championship in this game, but we understand that we're getting better leading up to the playoffs, and that's really the only focus right now. So the way this game started and how we turned it around is a good sign. Got to keep it up.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, Steph. Mike.
Thanks, Lise. Warriors back in rhythm. A rare win, though, here in San Antonio. It's just their second win in San Antonio in the last 36 regular season games. But this one absolutely feels sweet as San Antonio sees their 5-game winning streak comes to an end. They're now 3.5 back of the Warriors with 8 to play. Final score 110-98. For our producer Kenny Wolf, our director Rich Basile, for Jeff, Mark, and Lisa, and our outstanding ESPN crew, Mike Breen saying thanks so much for watching as we say goodbye from the AT&T Center in San Antonio. Coming up next on ESPN, it's SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt.